we will see two examples of inheritance. Before discussing the example, let me show you the question. The question is like this, that uh, what we will trying to do, that we have a common class that is animal. Okay, now we want to write a program that will implement different animals. Okay, now the thing is, each animal is different. If I think like dog is an animal, cat is an animal, bird is an animal, so what is the difference between this animal? Even though all of them are animal, okay, there's a difference. Birds can fly, okay, but cat cannot fly. Dog can bark, but cat cannot bark. Okay, so if I just write one unique characteristics, okay, dogs can bark. Let's for now keep it two only. Okay, birds, they can fly. Okay, birds cannot bark, or uh, dogs cannot fly. So we will create an animal class. Okay, so as their animal, they will have some common characteristics. So what animal can do? Okay, animals eat. Okay, so the common characteristics may be animal eat, animal sleep. Okay, and so dog will also eat, dog will also sleep. On top of that, dog can bark, so I can use it as a plus. Okay, then if I talk about bird, birds also eat, birds also sleep, plus birds fly. So I hope you can see the difference. Even though both are animal, okay, both of them eat and sleep, dog has a unique feature, that is dog bark. Bird has a unique feature, that birds can fly. So we will first create an animal class. Okay, that will be our parent class, and from that parent class, okay, we will first implement dog. Okay, we will show how a class can be derived. Okay, then I will give you task to implement bird. Now the question is, why we are applying inheritance here? Because if normally without inheritance, if I ask you to write a program that will implement both dog and bird, okay, what you have to do, you have to create a class for dog. Okay, and then you have to write the three functions. Like let's assume that dog eat, this is a function. Then dog sleep, this is a function. And then dog bark, this is another function. So you have to write this code, and let's assume the related codes. Then for the bird, you also have to write another class. Okay, let's name it class bird. And then for this class, you have to again write uh, eat, sleep, and then bark, sorry, fly. So these three functions. So this is one way to do it without inheritance. Okay, I will create a separate class for dog, I will create a separate class for bird. But using inheritance, okay, we can do it much more easier way. Let's go back and see how we can do it. So this is the code that I have done to implement only the dog. So first we have declared again the iOS stream, the directives, the namespace std. Then we have created a class that is animal. For now we are keeping things public. Okay, so that you can easily understand that public means is can be accessible by anywhere. So to function void eat, whenever this function is called, it is called I can eat. Okay, when void sleep, I can sleep. Just two printfs. Okay, and then we have a derived class. Okay, so the new name class of the name is class dog. The mode of inheritance or the visibility mode is public. And then so this is inherited from animal class. And if you look closely, what we did, we only have written void bark. Okay, we didn't write eat, we didn't write sleep. So why didn't we do that? Okay, because when we use this inheritance, all these classes void eat, void sleep will automatically added here. So basically whenever we write this public animal, all these functions we have, they are automatically copied here. Okay, so I'm not now, we don't have to copy it. Okay, they're already here. Now let's see some implementation, what happens. So first what we do, we create a variable of dog class, create an object of dog class. So this is dog1. Then we call the eat function, sleep function, and the bark function. Now if you look closely, if we look in the dog class, is there any eat or sleep function? The answer is no. But still, if I run the program, let me run the program. Let me share the output with you. You see, when I run the program, this is the output I get. I can eat, I can sleep, I can bark, woof woof. That means from the object of dog. Okay, let me again go back. So from the dog object, okay, what we did, we we have printed eat, sleep, and bark. So to understand easily, okay, let me add a printf here. Parent, okay, parent, okay, and this is derived. So we can understand which class where it's coming from. Okay, now let's run the program again. Now let me share the screen. Mm, You can see that from the parent class we are getting I can eat, from the parent class we are getting I can sleep, and from the derived class we are getting I can bark, oof oof. Okay, so if we go back again to the program, so here the object was created for the dog class, that means the derived class, and still we can access the members of the base class. So this is the advantage of inheritance. Okay, now what we can do, by the same way we can create another class. We can create a bird class as well, and you see that what we have to do, just make it a bird. So let's make it bird bird. Okay, then void fly, and then here we can write I can fly. Okay, let's remove this one. I can fly. So now if we create an object of a bird class, okay, we can create the object here, bird, bird1. Then we can call the all the function bird dot eat, bird dot sleep, bird dot fly, and the same way you will see the printf. So let's call the function, okay, one by one. Mm, bird1 dot eat, okay, then bird1 dot sleep, bird1 dot fly. And if I run the program to show you the output, you see again from the for the bird class we have I can eat, I can sleep, and I can fly. So all the functions are being called. Now if I go back to the example that I have given here, okay, what is the difference in this one? Okay, in this case, you see we had to write the definition twice: eat, sleep, bark, eat, sleep, fly. So this part, these two were repeated. Okay, so this was not efficient. But if I go back to the example here, okay, if you look closely, that I had to write the animal class. Okay, so these two function, they were not needed to implemented here or here. So the code is much more efficient, much more clean and transitive, and so on. Okay, now just think here, or there was only two function. Okay, what if there is a 20 function here? Okay, for example, for the animal, I not only want to apply eat sleep, what the animal also does apart from eat sleep, the animals also uh let's see what animal does. Eats, sleeps, oh yeah, for example, if I just think about the dog, okay, dogs also hunt, right? They can hunt. About the bird, they can also hunt. So we can say that some of the birds, they hunt for the food. So there can we can also eat another function, void hunt. Okay, then and we can go on like this. So when our programs get complicated, sometimes it happens that we have multiple variables or multiple member functions of the same. Now remember, in this case, one point to be noted, okay, the derivations we have done, all we kept as public. Okay, for now we are only doing it for public. Once you understand, you have an idea about how public work, we'll go to the other mode of inheritance. This is another example. In the last one, we only worked with function. Okay, now we will work with variable. So in the first one, we have a parent class which has only one variable, that is id p. So this is the id that is for parent class, that's why p. and this is a child class or derived class came from the parent. Again, we're using the mode of inheritance as public. Okay, and this is idc. Now in the main function, what we will do, we'll create two objects and we will try to access these variables. In the last one, we tried to access the functions, and you will see that accessing variables and accessing functions, if they're public, almost same. So in the last one, what we did, okay, to access the functions, we just created an object of dog class. And okay, let's remove the bird class for now. So we created a class called dog and an object of dog1, and then we have just directly accessed dog1 dot eat, dog1 dot sleep. Okay, but in this one, okay, we'll do the same. We have created an object for the child object1, and you will see that from the child object, okay, that is object1, we can access the parent variable, we can access the child variable. Now the thing is it accessing the parent? The answer is, it's not accessing the parent, it's accessing what he has inherited from the parent. Okay, because you have already inherited those, that means you already have your own copy of those. So if you run the code, what will happen, it will print 7 and 91. Okay, one will be printed from the child, one is will be printed from the parent. So to put it simply, it doesn't matter, okay, whether it's a function and a variable, as long as it's public. Okay, what you can do, you will have to just inherit using a public mode, and you can create an object and you can access the variables. Now if we go back in this one, okay, now animal was a class. Okay, what if I declared an object of animal class? Animal, let's assume a. Okay, this is an object of animal class. Now for this animal class, okay, can I access this bark function? Because dog is the animal. So for this animal class, let's try to access the bark function and let's see what happens. Okay, even though the animal was a parent class, so from the child class, that is the dog, we can access the parent. Okay, but from the parent class, can we access the child, that is a dot bark? Let's run the code and see what happens. You see it shows an error. And what is the error? If you see here, it will show you the class animal has no member called park. So the class animal, it will not be able to access anything that the dog class have. Okay, because the parent class will only refer to the parent class, and in the parent class here, animal, we don't have any bark function, so we will not be able to access it. I hope we're clear. So from the parent class, we will not be able to access the child class or the inherited class variables or functions. From the parent class, we will not be able to access any member function of the child class or member variable of the child class. That's it. But from the child class, we can access the parent class or the base class, however you want to name it.